Hey guys, this is part 3 of the series on how to draft employment agreements. In today's video, we are going to talk about annual leave, sick leave, and maternity leave. So, under the section of the employment agreement dealing with annual leave, you should say that upon completion of the first 3 months of continuous service, you shall be entitled to be paid annual leave. The table, the pro rata table is over here. You can pause the video to have a look at it. The employment agreement should also state that annual leave shall be prorated based on the completed months before the completion of a 1-year service. This is for employees who join somewhere in the middle of the year. The employment agreement should also state that during the first 3 months of the employee's employment, he is not allowed to consume any paid leave. This is under Section 88A of the Employment Act. It is also in the company's interest to state in the employment agreement that the employee cannot carry forward any unused annual leave to the following year. I know that a lot of companies allow their staff to accumulate and bring forward leave next year, the year after, but then it's not in the company's interest. It's up to you. It depends on what you want. If you don't want to allow your employees to carry forward their leave entitlement, then you can just follow this clause. Another thing to include under annual leave, unpaid leave, okay? Because they are employees for whatever reason, okay? Someone in their household is sick, they may need to go on, take 3 weeks leave to study for their exams or whatever. They may want to take unpaid leave. So you should state in the employment agreement that unpaid leave shall be granted at the sole discretion of the company. Next, let's talk about sick leave. The employment agreement should contain a clause that the employee must notify the company or the immediate supervisor as soon as practicable if he wants to go on medical leave or take MC, okay? Under the Employment Act, the requirement is 48 hours, but in the employment agreement, you should state a shorter period, for example, within the first 4 hours of the working day. Also, during the first 3 months of the employment period, when the employee joins, the employee will not be entitled to paid sick leave. Any sick leave taken during this period, the first 3 months of employment, will be considered as unpaid leave. After completion of 3 months of continuous service, the medical leave entitlement of the employee, okay, is set out in this table over here. You can pause the video again to have a closer look. Next, maternity leave and childcare leave. The employment agreement should ideally also contain a provision that subject to the employee working for no less than 90 days, okay, she will be entitled to maternity leave in accordance with the Employment Act. This is for parents who are not, this is for mothers whose children are not Singapore citizens, or under the Child Development Co-Savings Act, which applies to mothers whose children are Singapore citizens. You can watch the video below on maternity leave. So thanks for watching part 3 on this series on how to draft employment agreements.